Hi, my name is Steve Millard. I'm the Executive Director of Cose, and I'm here today for 3 minutes with Fred Franks from Fit Technologies, try saying that 3 times fast, a managed services provider for small and mid-sized businesses. Fred, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So everybody hears about apps.
Yes.
Let's talk about apps for a second for your business. What are the absolute must-have apps that a small business owner needs to be considering for their business?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. A lot of it's focused around what is the company's objectives in terms of what they do as a business. But most simply, you're going to need a productivity suite, email, communication, collaboration.
Right.
You're going to need something to manage CRM, how you're contacting your customers, what are the interactions you have with them, and really cataloging that. And then there's a variety of other tools that you can look at in terms of accounting and things like that.
And so there's probably all kinds of apps out there you can get. What are there 3 sort of emerging apps out there that small businesses really need to know about or have on their radar?
Yeah, I think some of the things that are really interesting and intriguing in terms of what small businesses can use to change the way they do business. I think there's a couple of areas. One is around the social media side, and there's a lot of tools out there that allow you to manage your social media accounts, and there's so many out there, right? There's Facebook, there's Pinterest, there's all these things, and they're all collecting data, and companies don't really know exactly how they're managing it or when they're posting, and so there's a lot of tools that really help with that.
So an app that helps me manage all of them together, is that right?
That's correct, yeah. Single apps and suites of apps that would control and manage.
So is there one there that you think is better than the rest? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's some out there.
Actually, you're doing an endorsement here, Fred.
No. So, there's a lot of popular ones out there. I think Hootsuite, Buffer, Brand24, there's several out there. And then the other side of the equation that's very different than social media is the data analytics side. So business intelligence, you're hearing a lot about that.
Okay.
And there's a variety of different packages, and a lot of those are really going to be specific to your industry or tie into those other applications that are going to give you data. So your accounting system, whatever productivity systems you have.
So making your data more than information, actually drilling down into it. So what should you keep in mind when evaluating apps for your business?
I think there's a couple things to keep in mind, but the biggest thing is really around the outcomes of what is it you're trying to accomplish. There's a lot of really good tools out there, but it may not be the right fit for your organization. And so figuring out what it is you want to achieve from a business objective, and then really drilling down from the technology side and figuring out how you
So get really focused. All of us have these phones with 25 apps on them. We use 1 or 2. So real focused on what you want to get out of them.
That's exactly right.
So are there some big pitfalls involved in bringing new tools on board? How do you overcome some of those pitfalls?
Yeah, I think that kind of goes back to the original part around your expectations, but there's really 2 things that people can fall into from a pitfall perspective. One is overestimating the impact that it's going to have on your organization.
Right.
Think this is going to be a silver bullet and it's going to
change the
everything.
world. Yeah.
And it's just another tool. And then the other side is underestimating the amount of effort it would take to actually get this thing off the ground and then keep it running.
So you're talking about if you implement, for example, a Hootsuite across all your social media platforms, keeping up with it, getting everything on board, don't underestimate the amount of time that takes.
That's exactly right.
Great. Yeah. So where is the future of business apps going? Are we just going to have more and more and more of these things available?
Yeah, it's interesting, and a lot of the companies that are out there today didn't exist 2 years ago, and the ones that are going to be on the top aren't around yet.
Okay.
And so, always evaluating that C. But, what's really interesting is around the data side, is that, information technology has always been driven by the data, but we haven't been able to capture it in the ways and the levels we have today. As we're moving down the road, you're hearing this thing of Internet of Things, IoT, and that means that everything is now able to capture data and then report to something. And I think that's really going to change the way companies organize, whether it's their staff and analytics around what their productivity is, or if you're retail, how many consumers are walking into your location, at what times, and where are they standing the most, and all that sort of thing. So there's a lot of data that's going to allow organizations and businesses to make really smart decisions.
So Internet of Things, this is the refrigerator having a chip, the sensors to tell me what's happening in my house.
Exactly.
Great.
And now think of that on the corporate side.
Right.
So you're able to then see, and make decisions based on what's going on in the environment. Things that are happening today, but they're just not really being captured. And you can kind of anecdotally say, oh, this is a really busy time for us right now. Right. But, actually being able to quantify that, it's a different thing. Yeah.
3 minutes or so with Fred Franks of Fit Technologies. Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.